Hello, my loves. Welcome to another reading. Today is all about what people say about you behind your back. Now, this is an extended reading, so we did start on TikTok. If you don't want to watch the TikTok or like you're just coming straight from YouTube, that's totally fine. I will link the TikTok link in the description, but you can pick your pile, and I do explain what I said on TikTok like really briefly. Um like in each pile. So, it's up to you if you want to like actually watch the TikTok or if you just want to just like see what I say here. But these are your two pile options. We have pile one, this is the orange deck with the onks, I believe, and then pile two, which is the holographic deck. So I just figured we would jump right into it. And there is another extended, and it's a love extended. And we will see what your ex lovers slash present lovers say about you, like relationship slash in the bed wise, um, behind your back. So that one was fun as well. And that is in my link tree. It's the top link where it says tarot readings and extended. So you can find that right there. And that was like a super fun reading. Doesn't matter which pile you chose, both piles are in the one video. So if you want, you could watch both extended readings for that if you feel called to. Like, let's say you ended up picking both piles. So, because I didn't want to make it separate. And then if somebody wanted to do both piles and they would have to pay for both piles, no, you can just buy the one and you get both of them. So, but yeah, so that will also be linked below, but it's also just like in my link tree. So any of my bios, whether you're on TikTok or YouTube or whatever, it's all there. And it's that top link. So go check that out if you're interested in that as well. It is spicy. So, we love a good spice. It's spicy, but wholesome. So don't worry. But yeah. Okay. So take your time, pick your pile, pause if you need, but I will see you at your pile. Bye. Well, see you soon, I should say. Hello, hello. Welcome to my pile ones. If you chose pile one on TikTok, this is your extended. If you chose pile one you're coming just from YouTube, hello. I'll go briefly over what we talked about on TikTok. So basically, people think that you're so physically attractive that they think that you're a shitty person. Like, oh my goodness, very blunt, but that's just like what the cards are saying. Um, People think that like you can be very creative and like you're just very like free willing and you just do what you want, but at the same time, they also think that like you're very non-committal, not only to just people, but also like to things that you do. If they know about things that you do, um, and some people like can think that like you're a little ingenuine just because like they just feel like you are hot, so people like want to talk to you and like whatever, and so like you have a lot of friends and like you end up in like a lot of relationships, or you talk to a lot of people, whatever, like date a lot of people, whatever the case may be. And so they're kind of just like, okay, well, like they're obviously like not like very genuine, because the only reason why they talk to so many people and the only reason why like they have like a lot of attention or whatever is because they're attractive. And it's like it's giving jealousy. Like clearly that's like what's going on here. So so don't get discouraged. We're going to get some deeper information because I would love to know like more. I mean, obviously y'all want to know as well because we're talking about you, but like let's just get some more tea because I feel like the vibes are like, why are they so hostile? All right, let's shuffle. Oh, sorry. Oh my goodness, you can't hear me. Hold on. What? Hello? Oh, what do my pile ones, what are people saying behind their back? Oh, wow. See, it's like interesting because like some people think that like you're very successful with things, and like maybe they just like assume that you're a very successful person because like once again, people unfortunately judge people based on how they look. So like a lot of people just tend to think that like you're just very attractive, and so they're kind of like, oh, they must just be like good at everything that they do, and like they must just be like a very successful person and things like that, you know? Or like maybe you just like post a lot and like they see you doing a bunch of things. They see you hanging out with a lot of people and like they think you're successful. It's like you have two types of people that talk about you. You have the types of people that like think that like you're cool as fuck, and then like you have the other people that are just kind of jealous, and so like they don't want to admit that you're cool as fuck. Like they kind of villainize you for being and seemingly seeming successful with a lot of things, which is very interesting. Let's see what else we can get about what people say. We have happiness and we have cleanse. Yeah, like I feel like once again, like you seemingly look happy. I think that there's still people that like think that like you're faking the happiness, but like seemingly like you look happy and like, but they also can tell that like you cleanse people in and out of your life, or like you cleanse things in and out of your life. Like you don't keep things for like a very long time. You obviously are very like, if somebody pisses you off or like whatever the case may be, like you're quick to like cut people off kind of thing. Um, and so people like just discuss that a little bit. Like maybe like you go through like friend groups or something like that. And like people are just very like, oh, like they can't like keep a friend group, you know? Like I feel like that is like kind of the vibe. Let's get one more. I feel like there's one more in here. Thank you. Oh, movement. Perfect. Like literally. People just think that like you just move very quickly. You know, you move on very quickly. That's why people think that like some people think that like you're a heartbreaker, because it's just like you just move on from like one relationship to the next. And it's not because like you're ingenuine. It's not because you have no feelings or whatever the case may be. Like it's literally just like when you feel like someone is not for you or something is not for you, like you're like, okay, well, it's time to move on. And like that's it. And you kind of just you're fine with that, because like you just are very in flow with your life and with the universe and like with how things play out, I guess. Okay, let's get some more. Let's get some energy cards. Wow. Ha! Oh my goodness. Sorry, you probably can't see this one. This is sixth chakra, Archangel Metatron. So that's your third eye. So some people think that like some people like talk about you in like a way that's like you're very in tune. Like they're like, oh, I don't know, maybe they think that like you're very spiritual or something. Even if you don't consider yourself spiritual or like religious or something, people think that for some reason. I think that people just think that like you are blessed. um Especially those people that like think like you're very successful or whatever. I think that people just think that like you're blessed, and so they just assume that you are very in tune with your god or with the universe or whatever it is that they think exists, kind of thing, or doesn't exist, I guess. But yeah, they definitely think like you're very in tune, and like you just like see through people, I think, also. And I think so like some people kind of like defend your movement through people, because they're like, well, they probably just are good at like weeding out people that suck, you know, because they just like have this they have this like ability to just like know when people are like lying to them or they're just like not good for them, like whatever. So like that's why they move on very quick. Um, which I think is interesting. Seemingly like you have more people that like talk better about you than not. I think that was just like the initial energy that was coming out. But we have walking away and caring connections. I mean, if that's not a synchronicity, then like if that's not confirmation, then what is? Because literally this whole time we've just been talking about how like people just seem to talk about how you walk away from connections all the time. Like you just seemingly just like walk away from people. And once again, some people think it's ingenuine and other people just think like no, like maybe they just like walk away from people because X, Y, and Z, or like I know that other person that she walked away from or that he walked away from, and like there's probably a reason why they walked away from them, you know. So I think that's like so interesting. I don't know why people like find that so interesting about you. that like you're just so easy to just like cut people off or cut things off and like just move on. Maybe you move from like job to job. Like it doesn't even have to just be people. I mean, obviously Caring Connections came out, so like for most of y'all it's probably that. But it could all just also just be like, you move from job to job, like whatever. I don't know, but there's just like some kind of constant of like you not committing to things. And people talk about that non-commitment. Oh yeah, community. It's like some people, like people will also just like talk about how like you either don't have a community or you seem like you have a big one because you can easily move from group to group, from person to person, from relationship to relationship, from job to job, whatever the case may be. Like they like to talk about the people that you're around and the connections that you have. Maybe you just like hang out with people that are just like very much in the spotlight, very much like a lot of people know them, a lot of people know you, like whatever, like things like that. It's just like super specific. I'm so sorry. I have to like move my mic around a lot because like I can't, I have to be so close to it to talk. Also, don't forget that there also is an extended reading to see what your lovers think about you, or not think about you, I'm sorry. Like what they say like behind your back about like you in bed. Um and that is through the link in my bio under tarot and extended. It's the first link. But anyway, let's continue. So we have Moldavite. Unconventionality. Your unique qualities are an important part of your life purpose. It's okay to feel different from others. Yeah, I just think that like people just like think that you're different in general. People think that like you're super attractive, so they already think that you're different because they're just like, how does this person just like look like that? But like Moldavite is a very, you use that when you're trying to transform. You use that when you're trying to like let go of things and bring new things in and like yada yada. Very like transformative energy. And so I think that it's very interesting that Moldavite came out because once again, this whole reading has just basically been talking about how people just talk about how you move on very like quickly and like you move on from things a lot and you move forward and you transmute and things like that. So I think that that is just like once again just reiterating like everything that we've been saying this whole time. Um so I just think that's very interesting. But yeah, I think that that's all that I have. I had one other deck, but I don't think that we need to pull it because I feel like the messages are just so clear. Like that's just the vibe. So yeah, it's good that like people think that you're so successful and you're so fucking cool that like they're just like wow, like they can't keep people around them because they're just so cool that like no one can keep up with them. Love that. But yeah, if you want to check out the other extended where we're talking about what your lovers say behind your back, go on and check that out. It's in my it's on my Kofi. I don't know how to say it, but it's like the website that I'm using right now. Top link in my link tree. But if not, that's totally cool too. And I'll see you in the next reading next week. Enjoy your week. Love you all. Thanks for being here. I'll see you soon. Bye. Hello, my loves. Welcome to the extended for part two of What Do People Say Behind Your Back. So if you chose pile two, which is this deck, then this reading is for you. And if you're just coming from YouTube and you still pick pile two, hello, I'll go over really quick what we talked about on TikTok if you're not coming from TikTok. So basically, people think that you are, it's giving Todoroki vibes. Like if you watch My Hero, like you're very like they talk about how like you're kind of aloof and like people like flirt with you or they want to be like friends with you or something and like you just like are not catching the vibe. Like they people talk about how like you're kind of like a layer, how you're kind of like an onion and like you just have like a lot of layers that they feel like they could probably maybe peel back, but like you just are not, you're not catching the drift really. So it could be people that like once again are like kind of trying to be platonic with you and or romantic. it really depends on the person. But that's like the main vibe here. And like you're just like not very like emotionally open, but like people don't think it's like a bad thing. They think it's cute that like you're kind of just like in your own world and you just like are the way that you are and you just don't really understand. I don't want to say social cues, but I mean I guess it's kind of like that. I don't know. People find it like cute, so they just like talk about it because they're just like they're so like kind of confused and it's like cute and they're just like they think that like you're very like literal, um and you kind of just like do your own thing and like you're very also people like talk about how like you're kind of serious in a way because you're so literal, like you're just like not getting the jokes. They just go right over your head. Which is just like so funny. But okay, let's get some more cards. What do people say about my pile twos behind their backs? Oh, we have creativity, we have love. I don't take these reverse, so. Okay. I mean, people definitely talk about, once again, like, I feel like there are some people that, like, are trying to be a little romantic with you and, like, you're just, like, not getting it. And I think that people can, like, see that you have, I think that people can tell that, like, you're capable of loving and stuff because, like, you're just, like, very nice. But once again, like, you just, like, not getting it. Maybe you just think that, like, people aren't flirting with you because, I don't know, maybe you've just, like, never really been flirted with throughout your life. So, like, at this point now, you're kind of just, like, confused because like you've just like never had that energy before. But like people also just like talk about how you are very cautious when you do talk to people, and they can see that like you're very creative and like you just have like a lot going on in your mind. Maybe they think that you're very artistic as well, because you know how like sometimes like really artistic people just like they're either like super chatty with people and like they're very social or whatever, or like they're just like kind of not, and they're kind of just like into themselves and like they express themselves through their art, you know? Like I feel like people like talk about that and like how you are kind of like that. Oh, flow. And like you kind of just like go with the flow of whatever you're doing. Because once again, I feel like people just like talk about how like you're just like in your own world and you kind of just literally go with the flow, but like you're also just like being very literal with the flow. Because you're just like, I don't know, you just take everything so literally. And maybe you don't feel like you do this, but like I don't know, that's just like how other people take it for some reason, which is just like so funny. Okay, let's get some more. Ooh, I'm so sorry. I keep like hitting the mic. Okay, maybe this is a better. I'm trying to still work out like the positioning. Oh my goodness, stuff is flying out. Okay, we have strategy. People feel like they talk about how like they kind of need to have a strategy when they talk to you. You know when like people practice to talk to someone? Like let's say you're like nervous about talking to someone and like you like rehearse it in your head. I feel like people do that to you. And then they find a common ground with somebody else because like maybe somebody will be like, "Oh, I was like worried about talking to this person, so like I like they'll laugh about it and they're like, oh, like I like did like a little, play by play in my head and like they did not follow the script. And they're like, oh my God, I like do the same thing because I never know what they're gonna say. They're very just like maybe people think that like you're very stoic. I think is the word. Like you're just very like they never can read you and they find you very mysterious and so they think about that, but they can tell that like you have a big heart, and they can tell that like you think a lot and like you have like a lot going on in your head. They know that like you're not like dumb really, like they just know that like you just are not like a chatter like that. And once again, like maybe you chat with like your friends and family, but like if this is just like random people, because that's usually who's talking behind your back, people that don't really know you that well. So let's see what else we have for what people say about you. We have aquamarine. Let's see. I don't know if you can see the card. It's like holographic. So, but divine life purpose. Trust the signs and your inner guidance, which are leading you to fulfillment. So people think that you are spiritual in a way where like you go with the flow of life, like you just go in the flow with the universe. Um, and maybe people think that like you give good advice because you're so like literal and like because you just do your own thing and like you don't really care about everyone else and like what they're saying to you kind of and like yada yada, like you just very much, I don't know, it's giving like people like the advice that you give for some reason, like that's like so specific. But that's what I'm getting. I want to pull these cards too because I think these might tell us a little bit more. And don't forget, there's also an extended on my Ko-fi. You can find the link in the description. But that reading is about, it's another extended, and like it's about what your lovers say behind your back. Oh geez, I didn't mean to get this many. Envision, walk away, loss, and envy. Okay, so some people talk about how they're kind of envious of you because you're really good at just like flowing. And I feel like because you're mysterious, people are drawn to you and they always like want to try to talk to you because they want to try to like break, like crack you, I guess. And like you just never do that. um and people just like talk about how like, so once again with like creativity and like envision, like I feel like people can tell that like you are creative in this way. And like once again, maybe you do art of some kind or something like that. And they can tell that like you are the type of person that like you plan something, you have an idea, and then like you execute it. And like they think that that's really cool, and like they talk about it with other people because like maybe they'll see it on social media, like they'll see it at like an art show or something. They're like, oh my god, that person's so cool. Like I love that they like had this vision of something and then like they do it, you know. And I think people also just talk about like how you walk away from things if they see that, like if you show that. Maybe you lost something, maybe you lost someone or something like that, and so like they just like also talk about that. Like people just like know your business a little bit, and so they're kind of like, "Oh my god, this person lost someone, like, that's very sad," or like whatever, and like they're talking about that. Um but yeah, I feel like we need more cards because I feel like there's a little bit more, and it's just like I need a different deck. Okay, I got another deck. Let's just get a little more. Oh, reflecting. Okay, maybe people think that like you're giving like, once again with like the advice, I feel like you're just giving like this calming like energy where maybe you're like spiritual or something like that, and people just like really appreciate what you have to say to them. I think that people can really tell that like you have a lot, like you do a lot of self-reflection and stuff like that, and like you're just a good person and things like that, and they just like talk about that. If somebody brings you up, like they're like, oh my god, I've only talked to them a handful of times, but like when I have talked to them, like they gave me like great advice, or they just seem so chill and calm and like really nice and like whatever. And like that's just like the vibe that you give, and so people like to praise you for it. It's very like good, positive conversations about you for sure. Let's see what else for my pile twos, what people are saying. Thank you. Crying over you. So maybe some people talk. Oh, sorry. So maybe some people talk about how like you've like made them upset in some kind of way. Probably you're not even realizing because a lot of things kind of go over your head. But maybe like people have crushes on you or something like that, or like I said before, like they want to be your friend, and like they get in their head because they're like, well, I was like talking to this person, aka you, and like you just like were not reciprocating the energy, and so like maybe that made them like upset. And I think that in their head is interesting because I think I said it before that like people think that you're very in your head, and like you're kind of just like, and that's why like you're very aloof because you're just like doing your own thing, and like you're just like having your own thoughts and stuff like that. But at the same time, I feel like people are also just talking about how when they talk to you, like if for specifically for the people that were like crying over you, like when they talk to you, like they felt like they were in their head because like you don't engage with them the way that they're like used to people engaging with them, and so like it made them feel like, oh my god, like it started to make them like overthink, and so they're kind of like they just like discuss like how they feel when they talk to you. And back in the deck we have wolf in sheep's clothing. So like maybe some people just think that you're just like rude. Like a lot of people think that like you're very nice and like you're kind of just like shy and whatever, but there's like a few people that are like, no, I don't think that they're shy. I think that they're just rude, and like you guys just think that they're like nice and cute or whatever because maybe like every once in a while they said something that like get like they gave you advice or whatever the hell, but they're like, I see right through it. And it's like, I don't think that's how you are. It's once again just giving like shy, you're in your head, you just think a lot. You just have like certain values and thought processes that like other people don't have. And so they're just like not used to having conversation with people like you. But yeah, that's what I have for you, my pile twos. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. I will be posting another video like next week. Um, And if you want to see what your lovers think about you and like say about you behind your back, then, and it's only good things for that. Like I was like, we're not going to be like talking crazy about people. Then, just go down to the link in the description box, or you can just go to my link tree and it's the top link right there. But if not, that's totally fine too. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks so much for being here, and I'll see you next time. Bye.